Flosstube friends, it's time for another episode. Hi everybody, and welcome to another fun Friday Flosstube Weekly Update with me. I'm Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, both here on YouTube and over Instagram, and you have reached my video and channel about cross stitch, plus some knitting and other things. Happy Friday! This is Flosstube number 78. It is Friday, November the 13th. Bum, bum, bum! 2020. And it's also World Kindness Day. So happy World Kindness Day to you. I have on my In a World Where You Can Be Anything, Be Kind shirt. I love this shirt. I got this from a place called The Right Stuff Chicks. And I just love it. And it felt like the perfect shirt to wear today. You might notice I have lopped off some of my hair. We had carpool, so it's a little wind blown-ish, and it's not as wavy. I kind of blow dried it this morning a little bit. But that was part of self-care weekend, 24 hours of self-care. And I'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a minute, but I wanted to first extend you a warm welcome. One, if you are returning to my channel, thank you so much for hanging out with me on Fridays. For some stitchy chat and nonsense and foolishness. If you are brand new here or have only been around for a few videos, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you hear something you like, see something you like, and choose to continue to stick around. So first things first, a little bit of life update. It was a great week, long week, and I don't really have a whole lot that happened this week. The weather was pretty good. My allergies kept under control. Work went by pretty fast. I was super busy at work. I do have some stitching to show, but it's kind of a little bit on a lot of different projects. I was kind of all over the place. I don't have very much knitting to show because most nights this week I attempted to sit up and stitch after I put Joy-Filled Little One to bed at 8 o'clock. And I say attempted to because I failed epically almost every single night. I am very lucky that I did not stab myself with my needle, mess up my stitching, like put in some wrong stitches in a half-awake zombie-like state. I just think that we're kind of in this place with the school year, and this happens every year, not just COVID years, where we're kind of ready for a break. And thankfully, we have one more week until Thanksgiving break, so yay! I am so exceedingly grateful that my school gives us a full week off for Thanksgiving, which is fantastic. Husband, Mr. Joy-Filled, he gets Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. He has to go in Monday, Tuesday, but that's okay with him. And we like having extra time with him. And Thanksgiving's going to be kind of low-key this year. Typically on Wednesday evening, we would go over and have a big Thanksgiving with my mom's side of the family, which is super huge. I am like the oldest of 25 cousins, and we're the third generation, and then there's now a fourth generation, my daughter being one of the older of the great-grandchildren. And we got an email about a few weeks ago, and it was kind of like, hey, we think it's in best interest to not have it this year. And we're like, we agree. I was kind of dreading having to say we're not coming. So, because we've been doing so well, school is going so well, the fact that we are in like week 13, 14, somewhere in that realm, if you had said to me, Annie, you're going to make it to week 13 or 14 before going virtual, I would have not believed you. I would have been like, you're funny. But our protocols are working. It does not mean that our numbers aren't out of control or out of whack. I won't say out of control. They're not good where I live. But our procedures are working. Our protocols are working. And so for that, I am so grateful. I am also so filled with gratitude for each and every one of you that lift me up, support me, say the most kind and caring things in the comments week to week, share about me on your videos, Give me hearts over on Instagram. I'm trying to be better about posting. It's been hit or miss. Just thank you so much. So, when we spoke last Friday, I was on the precipice of starting 24 hours of cross stitch. Well, I realized very shortly that that just isn't going to happen with my life the way it is. On the weekends, we spend time with Mr. Joyfield. You know, Joyfield little one has activities. We have church stuff. We have, there's just lots of different things going on. So 24 hours is not realistic. But I changed it up a little bit and I said, okay, we're going to do 24 hours of self-care, and which would include stitching. It included knitting. It included playing Animal Crossing with my daughter. It included going through and putting things up for de-stash, going through and culling some of my things out, putting some things away in the office space, you know, just kind of wrapping my head around stuff. It also included the haircut on Saturday. It included returning some stuff to Old Navy and getting to kind of go in and actually try on some clothes, which I was shocked by the size I am in, which is super awesome. So that being said, 24 hours of self-care, including cross stitch, went really well. I did get some progress on some of my projects that I had picked to work on, and I will show that here in just one second. So I thought where we would start off, though, is to say thank you so much to the few folks who bought me a fancy floss through the Buy Me a Coffee link that is in my description box. This video will be ad-free, due in large part to the people who have been so generous and kind. And for that, I am also filled with gratitude. I am trying to find both large and small things that fill me with gratitude right now. And this community is one of those things. So last week, I had 3 items that I am sharing with 3 awesome people who watched my video and commented on the video. I had 2 charts and then a little small notions pouch from Evertote, Caroline at Evertote, that came with my 12 Days of Christmas bags, because I bought 2 bags and I got 2 notions, and I don't need 2 notions pouches. Pass one along to one of you. The first chart that I had up is this one from the Blackberry Rabbit. This is A, B, C. And I'd ask you to please in the comments put B, B-E-E. And 49 of you said that you used B in your sentence somehow. And Sharon Jordan, I am going to be sending this to you. I will be taking it out of the sleeve and putting this in a 6x9 envelope with standard postage. I have a few more things to mail out tomorrow, and then I should be completely caught up. Hopefully things are making it to you in somewhat of a timely fashion. Once it's out of my hands, I really can't do anything about it. So for that, fingers crossed and prayers given that things get to you in a good state and in a timely fashion. But from what I am hearing, I'm going to take off a tangent for really quick. The United States Postal Service, for how much they are processing through their facilities, like in general right now, they would start to ramp up for holidays. As in years past, online shopping has increased. Well, online shopping is already at record levels because so many people are buying things and having it delivered to their home. They're not even really picking up Amazon slack right now. It used to be that Amazon would hand it off to USPS. USPS can't handle anymore. They're at full combustion and they are not funded very well right now. So I am having huge measures of grace. My things are arriving. It's kind of nice to kind of forget and check on it every now and again. And when it arrives, it's like, woohoo, a surprise. I know not everybody is like that. I've had to let go of control. I can't control that. It is what it is. So the second one is the coffee bean sampler from Heartstring Samplery. I'd ask you to put coffee in your comment, and a lot of you put, I love my coffee with my stitching. One person said, I don't know how you gave up coffee. I don't think I could. It was not by choice. It was, I had to. Caffeine ramps up my anxiety, and I found that out the hard way. And so I gave up coffee and all caffeine, because that's what's best for me. I run more efficiently without it. 67 people commented with the word coffee. The first 2 people I picked had not filled out my Happy Mail form. It is linked in the description box. Please fill it out. It is a pretty straightforward Google form that gives me your address, basically the ability to send you things. If you do not want me to have your address, then I can't send you things. That is for ease, because now I don't have to reach out to Cindy, I hope I don't butcher your name, Flinchbaugh. I have Cindy Flinchbaugh's information, and I'm just going to send this. And so it'll be super exciting when it arrives in the mail to her. So please take a minute if you want to participate in my Pass the Goodies each week. Yeah, fill it out. Then the last was the cute little notions pouch, and I'd ask you to put the word pear, P-E-A-R, in your comments. And 49 people put pear. The first person that was picked had in fact filled out my form, and that is Cynthia Fuller. So congratulations to Cynthia, Cindy, and Sharon. I will be putting these in the mail to you shortly, hopefully tomorrow, and get them on the road to you. All right, so I do have a couple of the little mini Prairie Schooler cards, but let's show some stitching and then we'll get to that. How about that? Sound good? Okay. I had a finish this week. Yay! If you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen this. This is Barbara Anna Designs Witch Ride. This was first published in the 2018 fall issue of Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine. I believe it is now available independent, like on its own, as a PDF chart, or maybe even a hard copy chart. I'm not sure. CreativePoppy.com has, and it's a French company, has tons of her charts. I found some on there that I'd never seen before. So yeah. This is on 18 count, Picture This plus Murmur, and you will notice this is very, very different than how it was called for. It is because I did a full conversion of this from Witch Ride, and I'm calling it Joy Filled Little Ones Ride. And little backstory, she has a pink stuffed mouse that she has had since before she was born. It was purchased for her by my mom before she was born, while she was in my tummy. And when she spent her first 13 days of life in the NICU, she was 6 weeks early. The first night that she was there, or first 2 nights, I slept with it so it would have my scent. And it hung out with her in her incubator or by her incubator for the 13 days she was in the NICU, or 11 days after those first couple. And it has been a constant companion to her. Baby Mousie is the mouse's name, and it's a little pink mouse. It's by the brand Jellycat. If anything ever happens to Mousie, we are in trouble because we were not smart enough to buy 2 of them, not knowing that it would be like her constant companion. So I also recharted it with peach skin because she is fair complected like me, and blonde hair and a blue eye because, again, blonde hair. I don't have blonde hair. I did as a child. Strawberry blonde. And I don't have blue eyes. I have hazel eyes. And then I also shortened the nose by 1 stitch because she does not have a witchy nose. She has a little button nose like me, or a bit. I have a big button nose. She has a little button nose. So this is my finish. I did not stitch any of the around motifs because I'm going to do this as a small ornament for her tree. So that is her riding Baby Mousie. So I just think it's so cute. And I think I just realized that I did not put in the reins, but I don't know that I'm going to, because I don't think that Baby Mousie needs a collar for Joy Filled Little One to ride on. So she picked the colors. I helped her to make sure we got a good color for Baby Mousie, and to kind of coordinate colors. But when the child picks like every bright DMC and puts them all together, it makes for a super fun stitch. This was super fun to stitch. It languished for far too long. It's not a big stitch, but this is a fun one. So that is another whip off my whip list. And speaking of, I do not have stats. I apologize. I do not have stats today, but I will say this. My name is Annie, and it has been 31 days since my last new start. Yes, I calculated that. My last new start was on my birthday 1 month ago. I'm not really itching for one, but I'm starting to think ahead towards 2021, because I know that I have a new year, new start that I would like to do. More on that to come. And then I know that the folks in the Zoom group are going to be doing an ornament a month. And I definitely want to do that because I've got some ornaments that I need to get finished that are not too far from being done. And then I could add in a few as new starts and put them on a wheel, and that would be kind of fun. Kind of what like Pam and Steph did of Just Keep Stitching. They picked out, I think they picked out maybe only 10 ornaments each because they had to get them all done by October. And 5 were Halloween, 5 were Christmas. Mine will all be Christmas. I don't stitch Halloween. We don't decorate for Halloween. As I have said before, Joy-Filled Little One is scared of anything spooky or spoopy, as Barkhopper Bart says. I love that, spoopy. She's scared of her own literal shadow this time of year. So I was going to tell you, there is a hashtag for the ornament a month. And it's funny, it's called the hashtag monthly Ornie Sow. O-R-N-I-E Sow. And I know that Carolyn Zook of C Zook Stitch, she also has a group kind of based on, I think it's magazine charts. So this would be a great way to bridge those two and double hashtag it. If your magazine starts also happen to be ornaments. Speaking of, oh, I can't wait. I keep seeing all the sneaks of the Punch and Needle Primitive Stitcher holiday issue. I will tell you, I think the very top of my list to stitch will be Abby Top Knot Stitchers. She did like a nativity scene and it's so adorable. The animals are so, oh my gosh, so good. So good. Okay, back to stitching. What am I rambling on about? All right, so I put something in my bag. I put in here 12 Days of Christmas by Satsuma Street, because that makes sense. So this is the 12 Days of Christmas by Satsuma Street. When you purchase this, I think if you purchase it on 123 Stitch as a hard copy, you get both versions. But I know for a fact if you buy it like I did off of her Etsy shop, you get 2 versions. One is, pardon me, the ornaments. The other version, which is version A, is all of them charted together with a border around them. And then some verbiage, I think it's My True Love or something like that. I decided to do them as ornaments. I started these last year on Christmas Eve, I think. And I started them on a 36 count white linen. And I had stitched number 1 and briefly started number 2. And then I realized I don't like the linen. I'm slower on linen. And I just love the uniformity of my stitches on either even weave or Aida. Well, so since I've already done the 36 and I want them to all be the same size, I knew that even weave was not an option. Because, well, I could have gotten 36 count white even weave because it is somewhat available, but I just figured I'd go with the Aida. And so I went ahead and got back started on number 2. I used this for Stitcher Gories, which I am doing as the November event in Semi-Sane Stitchers. I did the outside border and started in on some of the motif. This is what I got done on day 1. It is a 5-day rotation. So I have 4 more days on this, including today. And I have my little notice pouch, has all of my goodies in there. So this is just on 18 count white Aida. I got a cut from, I don't remember where I got, but I do know that my one from 123 Stitch was back ordered and then now like the estimated ship date is like sometime in December. And I really wanted to at least work on it on its birthday, if not before. So I think I reached out to a few folks, found some, got a half-yard cut it down. I don't have enough. So I went on and Fat Quarter Shop had some, and I am hopeful that the Witchelt, because that's Weigert, that the Witchelt white Aida that they have, it's an 18 count, will be the same color or close enough. We shall see. If it's not, it will be okay. It's already on 2 different counts of fabric. It's fine. All right, the next project lives in this gigantic bag. This is one of the Gingham on the Go bags from Fat Quarter Shop. This is the large one, and it's so Emma. And I'm going to tell you right now, this thing, I had to ask my husband to remove it from the room. It still has that really chemically, like petroleum smell, and I'm really sensitive to that. I'm weird. So I had to ask him the other night, because I could smell it from the bed, to put it in the other room. So I think it might be coming out of this bag. And this holds, let me move this. Heartstring samplery, Consider the Lilies. And I got 1 day in this. It's pitiful, y'all. This is on 20 count aged paper from Color and Cotton. And I basically put in this flower. And my needle minder is from Mad for Needle Minders and on Etsy. And this is I Choose Joy. I am nearly 100% sure that this is going to be UFO'd. That I am not going to continue on with it. I'm just not feeling it. I don't know if it will come back out. I don't know. I guess watch D-Stash, and if the booklet gets sold on D-Stash, then it's not coming back out. I love it. It's a beautiful chart. I just don't know that I am feeling compelled to stitch it, and I have so many other large, beautiful things I want to stitch that I'm just not feeling it. Okay, so this one doesn't smell as bad. This is another from the set of the Gingham on the Go bags. And I worked on this one more day after you saw it. This is Mirabilia's Snow Queen. I'm obsessed, you guys. Obsessed. This is on 32 count Lugana in frost from Be Stitch Me. It is a full swath. It is a custom cut that she did for me. My needle minder again is from Mad for Needle Minders on Etsy. Oh, I adore this. It's so good. But with this swath of fabric, I need to fold it in a little bit so I can zoom in. Look at how good she's looking. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've got some skin now. Her arm is like looking awesome. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. So this has compelled me to figure out that I will be starting another Mira at the beginning of the year. I will share more details when I have more details figured out, but it will be I will be converting it. And there's an awesome group on Facebook for Mirabilia conversions. So yeah, I did spend some time in that, and I can't wait for that to come back up. I enjoyed every stitch of that. All right, let's have a knitting interlude. This is because it's next in the bucket. This is a little canvas bag from Knit Picks. It's a unicorn knitting. I had to have it. Joyful Little One is jealous. Little does she know she is getting one for Christmas. Yes, indeedy. Because I am giving her a little intro to knitting kit from Knit Picks. And she'll have her own unicorn knitting. Yep. So this was actually, I think, a new cast on. I don't know that I showed this last week. This is from the Altered Stitch. Maybe I did show this last week. I think I did. This is called Let me pause for a moment and get my tongue to cooperate. Let the Yarn Do the Work Shawlette. This is a shawl for DK. Wait. I am knitting this with a beautiful skein. And I think actually the tag is on the floor. But it is from Sweet Tea Yarns. This is Wishing for Rhinebeck. It's a beautiful, super squishy DK that is knitting up beautifully. This is the top edge. So I am kind of knitting from the top down. And it's starting to grow and grow and grow. I don't know that my needles are long enough for when it comes to the end. Let me hold it this way so it'll kind of, gravity will do its thing. But it's beautiful. I love how these colors are pooling. It literally looks like trees with fall. I mean, it looks like fall leaves. I love the center eyelets, the eyelets on the edge. My Progress Keeper is from Charmed and Dangerous. It was part of their October Charm Club. And so, yeah, I did get quite a bit of progress since the last time, considering I really only knit on this and Baby Hat. That was it. Baby Hat's not finished because I keep forgetting to pull my double pointed needles. Oh well, I'm going to work on that later. All right, so I worked on this project. This cute little zippy pouch came from a friend of mine in DFW Stitchers. Tina is her name. She just makes these for fun. I think she actually maybe sells them now. I'm not sure. Tina, do you sell them? But anywho, it's perfect for a small project, and this small project is from the Just Cross Stitch Christmas Ornament issue this year. It's by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, who is having a huge sale, biggest sale of the year, 30% off PDFs from now until now being Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time until tomorrow night at 11:59 their time. I'm not sure. But this is sealed with a snowflake. It is so stinking cute. I love it. And my fabric is something that I did not write down, but I believe this is an 18 count mystery piece that I had from Mystic Fabrics. But I put in some stitches into this. I used this for Stitcher Gories. And so I finished filling in the blue that's around him, and I put in some of the white snowflake. And this is about, there's a little bit more outside of this, but then that's it. So it's just a small ornament. Again, this is probably one that Joyful Little One will rip out of my hands the minute it is finished, because she loves anything with a precious little animal. She saw me stitching on it the other night and goes, that's so cute. Is that for me? I said, yeah, probably. This one is a pouch that I purchased from Bent Needle Makes. I follow her on Instagram. She used to sell these in an Etsy shop. I don't know that she's still making this size, but I know she does a really cool BAP organizer. And this has another Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery project. This is from the June 2017 Just Cross Stitch issue. I think this was also in the ornament issue that year. And this is the Nutcracker ornament. I am not stitching the border. I am just stitching the Nutcracker. And this is on 28 count natural tin roof gingham linen from Weeks Dye Works. And I am stitching this for my brother. He has an amazing collection of German Nutcrackers that my dad has been giving him one every year since he was a child. He skipped for a bit because he just didn't have room. But now as an adult, he's like, so yeah, it'd be okay if you started giving me those again. He has some very cool ones. He has like one that's Phantom of the Opera. He has a painter one. He has a clown one, which let me tell you, I think that one is at the very back of the shelf because we have a thing about no clowns. I think it's interesting that as I continue to film this video, my wings keep flipping further and further up. It looks like I've been wearing a ball cap. You know when like a guy wears a ball cap and his hair does this? Yeah. But so I put in the crown on his hat, his face, and his beard and hair. The chart calls for Krynic braid. I chose to sub in DMC at 12. So you can see it's a subtle sparkle. The one that I used, in case you might want to stitch this chart and want to do it similar to mine, is C436. So this is the A12 C436. Wait a minute. Hold on. Is that right? Yes. Okay. It looks like I had more than one in here because at one point I was debating which one I was going to use. But I suppose I decided at some point and pulled one out. I feel apologetic to you if this video is all over the place, but you know, it's Friday the 13th. What do we expect? All right, so next up, I worked on, oh yeah, I remember. I love this project. I have so many ink circles going right now because I love them all. This is ink circles, arranging the sewing kit. I love it. I've had a couple of comments that I don't hold up the chart long enough, so I'm going to do a better job of that. So hopefully that was long enough. And this is on, let me find my bag. Coloring Cotton 18 count aged paper. This is a PDF I purchased off of Tracy's Etsy site. And this, I put in a fair amount of progress. I used this for Stitcher Gories also this week. I will say, I have an ironic story about this because I had to frog to begin with. So this is what I have so far. I am kind of doing it as a stitch by number. So I'm going to do all of the dark outlines and then fill in. I love the safety pins, the needle, the seam ripper, the stork scissors. These are going to be buttons, the thimble. So see this seam ripper? When I started this, I started it on the stork scissors, and I went and I counted off of the safety pin. But the top of them did not line up with this. And I was like, okay, I'm confused. I was confused because for some reason I had this seam ripper over like maybe 6 stitches this way. So I had to, because I had used a continuous string of floss, I had to pick out the entirety of this safety pin, this small little motif here, what I had stitched of the stork scissors, and the whole seam ripper. So I had to frog out the seam ripper with the seam ripper. I was telling my husband, this is so ironic. He goes, what? And I was like, I have to frog out the seam ripper. And he goes, what are you talking about? So I showed him and he goes, oh, that's pretty funny. I was like, and I gave him that exact look. That's kind of my teacher face. All right, couple more things. So this is another one of those little gingham on the go. That's the last of them. They come in a set of 3. That's all 3. And this one holds my Garden Club series. I am stitching 4 of them in kind of a 2x2 configuration. I am currently working on the basket of cherries. This is on 18 count. I believe it's Spectre, which was a color and cotton fabric of the month from earlier this year maybe. And I got a fair bit of progress on this. I worked on this one over the weekend for part of my 24 hours of self-care. And so I got the basket finished, some more greenery. I started it on this basket. I came up here and put in some more greenery up here. But one of my favorite things about these charts, and you don't automatically notice it when you look at them, is they have some subtle specialty stitches that make them a little bit unique in that respect. It's Blackbird design. And the specialty stitch in this, I'm going to try to get close, is on the basket. The outline is in one color in cross stitch, and in the middle of each of these squares is in a large Smyrna cross in a different color. And I think it gives it some really cool texture. That's a pretty good shot right there. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. And somebody said, oh, I didn't know you could do them on Ada like that. And it was a little bit of a learning curve because since it's over 9 squares, I did have to pierce the middle of the top and the bottom and the 2 sides. I think it turned out looking pretty well. I'm very pleased with it, and ultimately that's all that matters in my opinion. But yeah, so I'm excited. There is a satin stitch also. Some of the small cherries are satin stitched in the middle, so I'm excited to do those. I am doing a color conversion based on the original, and I love this. I love this project. I did originally set out, those of you who have been with me for a while, to do 6 of them, but I brought it down to 4, and I'm good with that amount. All right, I worked a little bit on this project that is from Cherry Hill Stitchery. I am stitching this for my dear friend from work who is our counselor. It is called You Are So Loved. And again, I say it's from Cherry Hill Stitchery, You Are So Loved. I did a complete color conversion. I am doing it in brights. Woo! We've got Color and Cotton Pickle, Victoria Motto 1940s Aqua, Color and Cotton Ash Plum, and Weeks Dye Works Romance. This is on an 18 count Ada from Victoria Motto in Colonial. And I got quite a bit of progress on this. So I have Olive Loved, and I started it on some of the leaves and flowers. Now I am stitching You Are Loved, not You Are So Loved. And I'm putting a heart in place of so it continues to keep it balanced. The reason being is that is something that she says all the time. To me, to our co-workers, to the students, just reminders just how loved we are. All right, so I'm going to toss in one more knitting thing. This is another one of those little canvas bags from Knit Picks. This is All You Knit Is Love. And this holds the baby hat. And so I got a bit more. I am ready to start decreasing. And so I just need to get my double pointeds. My number 8 double pointeds. And this is in Knit Picks Comfy Worsted. And I don't have the band, the belly band for this one, but it's just a really pretty ivory color. I have more of those. So the next time I pull this one out, I will look for that to be able to share that with you. All right, last one. I did get some time into my Caterpillar Cross Stitch Hello Dear. Let me pull out what it looks like as of now. I believe, yep, Monday, this is not up to date. The newest part came out and included down through here, and it has the most precious deer. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so good. I posted about it on my Instagram. I was like, well, hello, dear. Well, hello, little deer. It has the cutest little deer. Erin 2 Martini Stitcher and I were speculating about what this stack is. I think it's a stack of presents. And she was like, oh, but she's doing hers more winter, not so much like holiday, Christmas. And so she, instead of having the kind of more Santa hat, she did more like a toboggan style hat or a beanie style hat. I have an idea for you, Erin. You could still do presents, especially if you have anybody in your family with a winter birthday, like I do. Joyful Little One's birthday's in January. My dad's birthday's in January. My father-in-law's birthday's in December. So I could consider those both Christmas presents and or birthday presents. So anywho, this is through part 3. Part 4 came out Monday. Yes. Correct. So we have another... Anyway, I'm still on part 1, but I am loving it. Mine is on 32 count Lugana. It's called Splash Powder Pink with white dots. And I got a fair amount of progress. I used this for Stitcher Gories. And so that's where I got to. Oh, I love it. Isn't it so good? That is totally crooked. Hold on. And so I'm super pumped about how it looks. I love the icy leaves. I love this pine cone. I can't wait to put the other color in. I love the holly leaves. There's going to be some cute holly berries right there. I can't wait. In just a minute, I'm going to get up here to the... Just a minute. Like, in a minute, I'm going to be up there at the squirrel. No, shortly, I will be up at the squirrel. I am going to still stitch this in parts, even once the entire design is released. I love it. I love it. And Sally has reached out to me to see if I would be interested in participating in the new one that's coming out in January called Made to Create. And I said, absolutely, cannot wait. I think I showed y'all the sneak of the needle minder. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. But if you are interested in stitching Hello Dear by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, I believe my code is still active. It's JOY10. It will get you a discount off of the full kit and or the PDF. The full kit comes with the PDF, so I don't want to say and or. It's or. And then, of course, you can get the needle minder added onto your full kit. It's adorable. I love it. So good. All right. So before we get into plans and haul, I have this sitting on top of my notes, and I want to share about it ASAP. So last week I shared a Flosstube extra video with y'all because I totally forgot to show my Stash Delights, my Stitchy Box Stash Delights in my main video. So if you've not watched it and you're at all intrigued about Stash Delights from Stitchy Box, it's a monthly subscription box. It's kind of all of her curated favorite things. So it's things that might not fit into her other countdown boxes. I have quite a number of her countdown boxes I've signed up for throughout, the next year. I was very impressed by Stash Delights. I was one of her beta testers, which means I kind of got to see it before it was released to the public. I've also been given the opportunity to sign up for a subscription, which I have. I am going to go month to month for right now. I'm excited about it. I loved the velveteen, the beautiful silk, the cottons that were in there, the little sari bag. I mean, there was like nothing I didn't love, and it all kind of went together. Why I'm bringing this back up is that November 15th is when subscriptions will open to the general public. So watch their Instagram at StitchyBox to see if it's something you might be interested in. And subscription box plug also, Black Needle Society's March box is now available for order. So if you have not signed up for that subscription, it's a bi-monthly, so it's like January, March, May, July, you know, every other month. And so yeah, I really liked those. All right, so plans, basic plans. 12 days of Satsuma. I have 4 more days on that. I am going to continue to participate in Stitchagories. I'm loving it. I'm loving thinking about, I'm trying to fit them into the projects that are being picked by my wheel. And so far my wheel's picking some fantastic stuff. I'm kind of thinking ahead towards December and what I want to do for December. I know that Simi Sane has one called Whip Wranglers that looks really fun. I know that Sammy J does finish that stitch. My thought is, though, most of the things I could finish are small, and I need to keep some smalls to kind of keep me motivated. And then I need to start thinking about my whip go for 2021. Kind of fell off the whip go this year when I started all the things, but yeah. All right, so then I chose a 3-day and a 2-day project. So my 3-day project, today being day 1, is Little House Needleworks Bethlehem. And I've already got it on the Q-snap and have put in a few stitches. And so, yeah, I'm doing it mostly in the called for. The called for the white color is eggshell, but it matched my fabric. So I switched in Classic Colorworks Antique Lace. So I have 3 days in that, still including today. But I haven't put enough in for me to feel like confident in it, counting as a day. Then my 2-day project is a freebie from, I'm going to have to show it to you this way. Freebie from Priscilla and Chelsea, Stitching with the Housewives, from last year maybe. And this is Chicken Joy. And I am stitching mine with a pink tree instead of the green tree. And I am using Weeks Dye Works Crepe Myrtle, which is a really pretty variegated green. I am stitching this on 20 count charcoal Aida. And this is where I am at this point. And so I have a little bit more white in the chicken, and then I can start doing some of the other decorations, and then I can fill in the tree. I'm saving the tree. It's like my reward. So those are some of the things that I'm planning to do. Let's do, before stash, let's do some past the stash. Some giveaway charts. So we're going to do some Little Prairie Schoolers. Standard things. Reply, please don't put giveaway, please don't put free, please be 18, please have filled out my Happy Mail form. Thumbs up. So I have 5 today. I have this funky reindeer. So if you are interested in stitching this, please put deer, D-E-E-R, in your comments, deer. We have Peace Angel. So for this one, we're going to say peace, P-E-A-C-E. So again, deer, peace. This one, we're going to say holly, holly. This one, Sew Dry, Set Wet. You wouldn't have to put that on there. I think this urn and flower is adorable. We're going to do sew, S-O-W, S-O-W. And then for the snowman, we're going to say pipe. If you can get them all in one sentence, that would be pretty incredible. So we've got deer, peace, holly, sew, S-O-W, and, oops, skipped right over pipe. Pipe, P-I-P-E, pipe. So, 5 of them. We're running through them fast. Fast. All right, we've got some stash, and the first thing doesn't even fit in my basket, and I'm not even opening it yet. I did open it to count because they said just make sure, but dude, it's going to kill me. I have to wait 1 month from today to start opening this. Sad face. I got my Retreat in a Box from Black Needle Society. This is the Nice List 12-day. I was not quick enough, nor was I rolling heavy, able to get the 25-day box. I got the 12. Never again. I will try to get the 25 next year. We shall see. But yes, I'm very excited. I will give you a sneaky peek of how awesome their packaging and stuff is. And they even have a scratch off. Like it's like a lotto. It's not really. It's a teaser, kind of spoiler card. And then this is the photo challenges. But look, camera see. It is stuffed, crammed, amazingly full of the super coolest stuff. So Katie, Laura, thank you so much. I cannot wait. I am so excited. Yep. And January will be my first sub box. So I'm up to 87 advent calendars. Okay, not really. Not really. Oh, I have another one. I got a 12-day. I got a 12 days of yarn from my local knit shop, my local yarn shop. It's actually 14 days, mini skeins from one of the dyers. It's an exclusive thing to my LYS, but I'm actually going to start that one when I've lost my ever-loving mind on Christmas or Christmas Eve. I'm going to do that one for the 14 days of Christmas. So up to Epiphany, which is January 6th. All right, are we ready for stash? There's not much. It's a lot of yarn and stuff like that. So if you're not into stash, you don't choose to be enabled, you don't need another craft, you can peace out. If you want to see my stash, hang tight. Here we go. It's joy-filled stash time. It's joy-filled stash time. Woo-hoo-hoo. First things first. First things awesome. I got these charts off of Stash Unload from one seller. I got this one. I need all the Cherrywood Design Studios. I want more of the words. But this is a baby in a manger. I love it. It's so cool. It's like in 2 colors, honeysuckle and mascara. I will probably change up, but I even love how simple the finishing. Fantastic. Which, little known fact, Cherrywood Design Studios is Kathy Haberman and Teresa Curry. Yeah. Yep. Just in case you didn't know that. I just tossed that over there and I don't know why. It needs to go in my bucket. Down here. Alright, and then I got this work basket one. This is a little bit of an older chart. This is from 2004. And this is called Garden Gates. And I think this is adorable. I love the gates. And this man in his culotte pants. Or lady in culotte pants. I'm not sure. This is a dog ostrich interestingness. This animal with the longest pencil legs ever. I'm just floored. I just think this is so cute. The animals are funky. The squirrel is fantastic sitting on the gate. The little flowers at the bottom are hearts. This is just so cute. So I'm excited about that one. No immediate plans for any of these. And then I saw these, and I think it's Pam of Pam and Steph has been talking about Seekus and Company. And I saw these, and I had to snatch them up. This is watercolor gingerbread houses. And what's cool is these are all, you can tell there's I'm sorry, it's an actual photo. This is the same floss throughout, but it's variegated in such a way. And the instructions are very involved. It's Karen Water Lily Spice. This one is the one where you can really see. This is one Karen Water Lilies that makes this. This is watercolor turkeys. Oh my gosh, stitch all the turkeys. I cannot wait. But that is one Karen Water Lilies. But you just stitch it in such a way that the variegation goes to different parts of the wings. Yes, I'm here for it. It's amazing. These are from 1999 and 1997. So I was in high school and graduating high school. And I was stitching at the time. But I would have never picked those. I was into Lizzie Kate hard. Okay, so then my bag broke. one of you lovely folks said, hey, I don't know if you want to be enabled to a D-stash. And I said, always. And they shared with me that Apron Addict on Etsy was doing a yarn D-stash. It was epic. And so, of course, I went and ran and started adding things to my cart willy-nilly. And then I had to go start removing things because I'm not made of money. And then I went over and said, Erin, go here, D-stash. She did, because we're like that. And so I got some yarn. All kinds of things. So this is a Beehive Yarns. This is a DK weight, and this is her Dolly weight. This is Atomic Flamingo. Yeah. Yep. This one is from Hannah Made It. This is in Jingle Joy. I had to have it. It has joy in it. Jingle Joy. And this is in her Double Danger DK. Jingle Joy. Love it. It's like mints and pinks and reds and purple. Oh, so good. And this one made Joy-Filled Little One crack up. This is from Molly Girl. This is in her Rockstar DK. Do you see a theme? I'm kind of on a DK kick. I have a lot of fingering weight, but now I'm loving DK and how squishy it is. This is in the color Unicorn Poots. To which she responded, well, yeah, unicorn's poop is rainbow. I said, no, poots, like, and she goes, oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, Good times in our house. And then this is from Kindred Red, and this is their Rad DK and Celadon and Cinders. I can't with how beautiful this is. Dude. It's so good. Like the burnedness and the pink neonness and the yellow and the turquoise. Oh, I can't wait. So good. And then because I had been seeing on Treehouse Knits, her slub yarn. And then I saw this, and it's called Cozy Little Christmas. This is Adelaide Cottage Yarns. And this is her Bauble. And this is Cozy Little Christmas. I mean, dude, like this was Christmas, these 5 skeins of yarns, because a lot of them are Christmassy things. Oh my gosh, I love it. I did not set up my fancy light, so if the lighting's terrible, it is what it is. All right, so next up, my first installment of my November Charm Club from Charmed and Dangerous on Etsy came. Noelle is fantastic. She's a polymer clay artist. This month's theme, and so you buy the Charm Club for the month, not knowing what they will be, however you will know the theme. And this month it's Forest Friends. Well, I knew I had to have it, and she said it was one of her favorites so far. And so I got the first 2. You get 4. 2 now, 2 in a little bit. And so the first is this adorable, turn around. Thank you. Adorable little tree with a bird. How cute is that? So cute. And then just wait for it. So good. It's so good. She's so cute. And I say she's a she, because she has a pink nose and a purple flower. She could be a boy, but I'm calling her a she. And she's Suzette the skunk, and she's so cute. So anyway, so excited for those, because, you know, can't have too many progress keepers. Now, that's not the only option. You can get a couple of different findings. I choose the lobster claw. All right, a little bit more yarny goodness, and then I have something I want to share with you that is cross-stitching related. So, cannot even. I was on Instagram one morning, and Martina Bem, amazing knit designer of the Hitchhiker, was on saying that it was the 10th birthday of the Hitchhiker shawl. And it kind of started her along this path of designing beautiful asymmetrical triangle shawls. She came out with a book, the Hitchhiker Collection, 20 knitted shawls that are all in this same asymmetrical style. It's a beautiful hardback book. I'll tell you where to get it in just a second. So you can see there's this one with the loops. There's this one with large eyelet holes, color work. This one I think is a DK weight with kind of a basket weave texture. There are some beautiful, beautiful things in here. So her U.S. distributor of the book is Miss Babs Yarn, MISSBABS Yarn. Just go search it. And Miss Babs dyes beautiful yarns. So I placed an order for the book, and I also got her Hitchhiker Birthday yarn colorway. I'll show that in just a second. But what's so special is since it was my first order, I got a welcome note with 3 of her beautiful little beaded stitch markers. There's also, like on the back, it gives you the contact info. They're there to help you. I mean, just wonderful. I think this is so neat. It's a swatch me. So they sent a tiny little sample of one of their colorways. So this is Zombie Prom. And this is their Tarte fingering weight yarn. And this is a, like, just little 10-yard sample of it. I think that's adorable. This is their information. Miss Babs. MissBabs.com. Awesome. Awesome. I mean, and we're talking it shipped like it might have been hand delivered. It got here so fast. Everything came beautifully wrapped in tissue. The book was in a cardboard mailer wrapped in tissue. And then it was all in this beautiful bag. So now let me show you the Hitchhiker Birthday colorway. This is in her Yummy 2-ply, and this is Hitchhiker's Birthday. Yummy 2-ply. Look at that. It's like funfetti. Is that not so pretty? I wish I had my lighting set up, but I don't. So pretty. I love this right here. So needless to say, I am so floored. I'll have to pick out one of the ones from the book to stitch this, to knit this up with, or I may just do another Hitchhiker in Hitchhiker's Birthday yarn. I feel like it kind of has to be, because that was where it all started, and my love of that style of shawl. All right, I got one more thing to show, and then we done. All right, so a couple weeks back, I showed you the cute little wood mug cutout that I had seen on Stitching with the Housewives that is from Scarlet Sky Designs, Texas. And Shelby at Scarlet Sky, oh my gosh. Shane and Shelby own Scarlet Sky Designs, Texas. So they are here in Texas. Sent me a beautiful card. They reached out to me on Instagram and said they were coming out with some new products. Could they send me something? I said, absolutely. So I thought I was getting one thing. I got 2. They came super fast. I'm obsessed. I know for a fact one thing that's getting finished on one of these items. But fantastic customer service. So the first thing they sent me is their new wooden chicken. So cute. And they do different colors. So like the mug had different colors. The chicken has different colors. My chicken, they bubble wrapped this so beautifully. It didn't matter. It lost a foot. So I contacted them and said, hey, I just want to let you know that despite your efforts to bubble wrap it to the nth degree, it lost a foot. She said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to send you another one. I said, that's not necessary. That's not why I reached out. I just thought you would want to know. They have gotten boxes for these now. So Chicken Joy is going to go on here and be finished on here. And my mug is going to be an interchangeable piece. But then they also sent me one of their little horn, I think this is called hornbook paddle. What? A paddle. And I love the distressing. It's beautifully made. Oh, I love it. I'm so excited for them. These are beautiful finishing pieces. I cannot wait to have them something finished on them and put them up. So thank you so much, Shelby and Shane, for sending these to me. Please, please, please go check out their shop on Etsy. It is, again, without showing you their beautiful note to me, it's etsy.com/shop/Scarlet Sky Designs, Texas. So yeah, I'm so pumped. I will likely, I'm kind of going minimal show notes, but I will link them below. It'll be tomorrow, but I will link them. So with that, I have shared everything with you with the exception of my Angel Kindness card. And so each week I share with you a Teresa Kogut Angel Kindness card. And I love this one. On the back it says, when people isolate themselves, don't give up on them. Always reach out and offer kindness. I just thought that was perfect. Because one, some of us don't have a choice in isolating. I know as a family, we have decided that with the exception of work and school, we don't really go to terribly many other places. Like we're talking the grocery store. And if we can pick it up, we pick it up. Check on your folks. And again, kindness. Kindness matters. And I know that some people say, well, kindness is not everything. Kindness is everything. One kind word can change the day around for somebody. But anywho, it looks like we're going to come in under an hour, which I don't know that I've done that in for like ever. So with that, I will bid you a very fond week ahead. Fond week ahead. Anyway, fond farewell. Have a wonderful week ahead. I will see you next Friday for another weekly update. I will be going into Thanksgiving break. So, yep. Anywho, I will say to you, so long, stitch well. I'll see you soon, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, and I will see you soon.